Wherever you are, I'm going the other way. So just decide where you're going, because I'm out of here. I'm trying to get as far away from you as possible. And welcome back to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel and I'm reading the Bible. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe. I should let you guys know that in the description of the video, I have every verse time-stamped. So my channel will eventually be a resource that whatever Bible verse you want to hear, you can literally go to that chapter and click on the timestamp to go to the Bible verse. I'll have a joke associated with the Bible verse or some sort of little comment or whatever. But importantly, you will hear the Bible verse. This is like a book on tape with just some idiot rambling on in between verses. Could you ask for more? So here we go. Abram has just whored out his wife, and he's continuing to head towards Canaan. Abram needed some sheep and cattle and some maids, and so he sold his wife's body for that stuff, and then away he went. And now we're in Genesis chapter 13. So Abram went from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and silver and gold. How did he become so wealthy? Could it be because he's a pimp? From Negev, he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There, Abram called on the name of the Lord. This was the beginning of people doing horrible things, as he did in episode 12. Go back and watch it. And then building an altar, calling out to the Lord, asking for forgiveness, going to confession. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, but the land could not support them while they stayed there. There was way too much water right under the surface, because that's where God put all the water from the flood. It doesn't mean physically support. It means that you need probably a certain amount of fields for the livestock to eat the grass, and if there's too much livestock there, it's just not sustainable, whatever. So I can understand why that would be, because they're getting so darn rich. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. Redundant. And quarreling arose between Abram's herdsmen and the herdsmen of Lot. The Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. Abram and Lot and everyone, they're all getting along. It's the herdsmen that are just not having a good time of it. So Abram said to Lot, "Let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herdsmen and mine, for we are brothers. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. Why don't you leave? If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Wherever you are, I'm going the other way. So just decide where you're going, because I'm out of here. I'm trying to get as far away from you as possible." Lot looked up and saw that the whole plain of Jordan was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, towards Sor. Egypt must have been different back then, because I've seen pictures and it does not look well watered. It's also nice that Lot can just go, "Well, that looks well watered." This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Foreshadowing. Why would God do that? Probably because Sodom and Gomorrah were part of the Ham clan. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of Jordan and set out toward the east. The two men parted company. Abram lived in the land of Canaan. Sounds like he just stayed put. While Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. That was his first mistake. Now the men of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. Just the men. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had parted from him, "Lift up your eyes from where you are and look north and south, east and west." All the land that you see, I will give you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth, so that if anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. I don't think we could count the dust. Well, then the offspring can't be counted. Like, there's too many. That's the point. Go walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. Now, again, if God isn't really involved, like if there is no God, and this is just people writing their own story, this is giving justification for taking a land. That might just be all it is, you know? We already don't like Ham, and we know that Canaan is his descendant. Yeah, if God wants to give us this land, who are we to say no, God, right? But it might not be, I don't know, but it might not actually be God saying this. It might just be like later on in time, you know, when they took the land, they wrote this and were like, see, it was ours the whole time. So Abram moved his tents and went to live near the great trees of Mamre at Hebron, where he built an altar to the Lord. He's like, thank you. Thank you for giving me everything. And a beautiful wife that I can use to get a lot of camels and servants. Well, that's chapter 13. Chapter 13 is one of those ones is a bit of a like transitional chapter. So hopefully in the next chapter, we'll have a little bit more action. Not all the chapters can be hard-hitting, exciting, sexy, adventurous, salacious chapters. Some of them have to be like this, kind of dull. But stay tuned, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. Is this chapter more interesting than I thought it was? Like, is there something here that I missed? Is there some sort of foreshadowing? Am I like completely out of my mind when it comes to Abram being a pimp? Give me your thoughts. Tell me how else we can look at this. I'm really curious because I did not know that happened. In all the Bible readings and all the sermons I've heard, I was not aware that Abram lied, had his wife hook up with a Pharaoh, got a bunch of stuff. All of a sudden, Pharaoh falls ill because of this. And that's what's wild is Pharaoh is punished for Abram's lie, and then Abram gets out scot-free. I did not know that happened. And I know I should have said this at the end of episode 12, but I'm still kind of reeling from it. Come back for episode 14, which will be Genesis chapter 14. These are episodes, that's how I'm thinking of them. Thank you for joining me, and have a beautiful, 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 beautiful rest of your day.